Two united kings of Harry Russell and Hugo Byron.
Yes, you do, Trace. Thank you very much. Some slapstick on the desk, but let's put our hands together for this NaVi MOUZ matchup as we get right into Ancient MOUZ's map pick. The first of hopefully three, Harry, because this one bounds to be a banger.
Yeah, I am looking to be the first point of contact here, out towards the box. xertioN overwhelms him. Oh, bit of an interesting start, but he has successfully gained control over the site. Smoke's down, and NaVi stuck on the other side of it. Frozen even harassing them from middle, but it's going to be JL raining out first with the kill to propel NaVi back in. Now, they've got to be cognizant about this mid flank. Frozen can get activated in the blink of an eye, but they tap on the bomb already, forcing peaks. Now, Frozen's got to make a move, and his teammates are folding like flies. It's all eyes on Frozen, having to do the heavy lifting. Ice in his veins, but they're on the bomb. Got to act quickly here, does Frozen. This is the guy for MOUZ, but he can't quite find it. And so the defuse stuck, the full 10 seconds used. And it's NaVi with an exciting round off the rip.
The first of many, I think. What Morgan Frozen do with that spam, man. He puts every single round down range into the smoke. But as said, great body block. NaVi keep him covered. That was an absolute nightmare of a round, an absolute mess.
This is a pretty cool matchup, though. It's like a real homecoming matchup, right? Because obviously Shui goes back to his teammates in MOUZ, his former teammates in MOUZ, after that great success with the Game of Legion squad. And Ema was a big part of that. He also found a different path to try and excel on the other side in NaVi. So a battle of brothers here.
Now mortal enemies. At least for the next few hours. This would be quite a run for MOUZ. I think there's so many questions on this team just off the back of their play-in run, of torzsi's performance, the unbelievable nature of his 50-kill opener, and then he even kept it up against NIP, which MOUZ dominated in. So can he do that against the big boys of NaVi, the new boys on the block? Sui does take down the opposing captain.
And it all goes quiet. But that silence broken by this engagement over at main. Not really what MOUZ were hoping for. Impact wanted to try take a bit of room there, take a bit of space, and set them up to eventually have this play culminate on the A site. Now he's dinged. He doesn't get the real estate he was looking for. MOUZ now to get a bit creative here. Now that original avenue has been locked out. MOUZ in mid. Fast wrapping through the donut. Bit sat up in temple. Gonna have to keep his wits about him. He'll hear these footsteps, so he knows they're coming. Full blind. torzsi's dead. Never even knew what hit him. And Bit goes swinging out with another before Frozen can get that trade. This one ends up even. Bomb now down. MOUZ giving it a great go with the force buy. xertioN trying to go through the motions, gets into the big box. A little awkward here. He's got to pick a path, and he will try and fight for the safety of CT, but dead after one. It's left onto Ema. Looking for NaVi's route back into the retake, and he can't quite deal with Frozen, so the reply is immediate. You don't wait long. MOUZ come out with the guns in round two on the force, and they put them to work immediately, getting that early advantage, quelling the aggression of Alexi B, and then regrouping for this A hit.
Frozen's just such a monster, man. It's so great to see him in interviews looking all smiley and happy and, you know, with high expectations, high goals, not just for his team, but himself. It felt like he was the guy left to the wayside after, you know, Karrigan and Robs ran a phase, and, you know, there were only so many spots, but Frozen was, without a doubt, next on the block. And despite that, it's been great to see, you know, MOUZ find so much success over the past, you know, 12 months. With a top 8 major performance. And more. Ending the season on a high at Dallas with some great games. And now this new roster that certainly has our attention. Frozen at the forefront of it. Shui down in cave, gets flash peeked, and torzsi looks to break in with his first kill. The nade might be the answer for it. Alexi tries to run and just about gets it out with 6 health. MOUZ now locked off by utility, still wanting to execute into what is a 3-man hold.
And it looked like for a moment NaVi were going to disband this to go clear out middle. That's still coursing through their minds, but as this util reigns over, they will get drawn back.
Too little too late though, really. Even though you have the numbers, there's no flash to get you back in. You have a kit, so immediately the clock has struck. The bell has tolled, and NaVi are saving. I like the decision, but MOUZ want more from it, so they're going to go hunting. For me, the question is not just torzsi, of course, can he keep up his playing performance, but it's xertioN as well. A guy with a great brain and a great understanding of the game. We learned that very much at Pro League when we had him, on the cast talking in detail, and he really flexed his knowledge of every team and the players and the positions on the map and the protocols in place, and it, showed that he thought about the game in a way deeper than many other players have or do. But his playing performance was underwhelming, to be honest. Obviously, it wasn't really required. They did stomp their games, with the exception of the Mongols BO1. Of course, that's torzsi. But xertioN didn't put up the numbers we usually expect from him. So as we get deeper into the tournament, I hope we get more of the last season's xertioN, who was such a titan of MOUZ.
Yeah, because I think when you look through at MOUZ, it's very easy to pay all that attention to Frozen. xertioN was earning a lot of that attention himself, right? And like you say, he's proven to be very affluent and very well spoken when it comes to the CS world as well. Very good at putting, verbalizing his knowledge. But he put out tweets. He said he wasn't thrilled with his performances from the play, even though they came through it looking good. USB gonna tap out one. Don't quite know how he's gotten away with it, and it makes this round interesting. Simple's Deagle can't quite stand up to xertioN. And so JL now moving in, taking up the reins, smoked off. The MAC-10 will find the kill as he battles through the smoke. Now Frozen left to finish the job. He's got the bomb on his back, but he just wants to take this fight, keep him at bay, keep him at range. The molly allows him to cross in, allows him to get this plant, and now he's got the bomb to play around.
He could smoke the molly if he wants to, but he's probably just going to save it for the bomb. No kit is the big problem here. He could stick it, but that would be putting it a lot down to luck. Does he want to trust luck, or will he trust his aim? On the tap, forces a spam, goes over the top, and he sees Frozen through it, but not enough to get the kill. You only have one more chance to run this fake play in the flash. Frozen's buying his time, and JL can't win this, surely. Oh, I don't know about it. It's going to be close, and even he realizes it's one bridge too far. Nice try. But MOUZ get out with a good. xertioN with a massive 3-kill round, and Frozen living just long enough.
Yeah, very well played from Frozen. Right, just knows that if you're smart about how you're fighting that, how you're peaking it, especially when, you don't get finished off on your first swing out, he knows there's a world where you win that without even having it come down to a gunfight. You can just win it to time. And knowing that the money was not there for NaVi, that was, just kind of the follow-through of the force buy, that kit would not be in play. It gave him a huge degree of freedom, but now this is where things get interesting, right? We've got the AWP in hand for Simple straight away. Yeah. Pretty much everything you could ask for here if you're NaVi.
The dinner bell has rung, it's hungry time, as torzsi's also got his AWP and looks to take this one-on-one against Simple. And he ducks right under the scope, uncrouches into the fight, and takes the opener for NaVi. Been talking up a lot of MOUZ, but this guy reminding us that it's the Simple show. And he did have a fresh look back in Copenhagen. A couple of strong games was a good takeaway for NaVi. Win over G2 and Big, close loss to Heroic. JL gets out of cave, 5-on-4, good grenade, and NaVi can sit pretty on this B-bomb site. Don't want to double cave for too long, there's no one watching the ramp, so they'll peel back and play more of a retake setup. Simple, of course, floating, as he does on CT side. Ema gets spotted behind the boxes, but xertioN can't finish his meal, and Simple's coming on to finish it instead. xertioN gets a second chance at life. What will he do with it as his teammates Move towards B.
That's actually quite big, though, because now it's allowed him to take some room over towards red. He's going to have a hard time influencing the rotates, but any pressure he can apply here is great, even if it's just slowing down the remaining NaVi players. His teammates have got to get into the site. They've got to get the bomb planted, and that little float tactic from Sui as he surfed along the wall there has kept him in this round. Bomb now planted, and xertioN still in the red room. Admittedly, won't be able to do anything about the players having crossed, but he can play on a timing now on this window to come in with a backstab and keep pressure applied. NaVi have got to look forward. They've got to fight forward, and that spray is ugly out of xertioN. He had it all to do in this round. Now it's left onto the captain, and he is overran, overwhelmed. That is actually very composed from NaVi, considering the positions, the real estate that MOUZ had, the fact that they had to bear in mind the red player throughout the entire time that they're committed to that retake. It actually looks really clean when all is said and done.
That's a nightmare there for xertioN, though, because that's a kill that can really influence the round and put pressure on NaVi's backline. He does everything right, but he misses his shot, and it goes into a desperate spray that Bit takes him down from.
I'm really glad that we got to see that Simple versus torzsi head-to-head from torzsi's POV, because I really believe that one of the things that just puts Simple on another level, and from speaking to him, this is what he attributes as like one of his best qualities, is just being able to like visualize every angle and every timing. And you could tell with how he like manipulated his view model that he felt so comfortable in that torzsi fight.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good, didn't it? You know, torzsi doesn't really get much chance to react. There's a fight he knew was coming. Off the reload, get baited. JL was there to cover his teammate as he puts a fresh mag in. And NaVi already pulling out some tricks. Yeah,
him and Alexi have been doubling up in Cave in a lot of these rounds, trying to go for these kind of bait and switch buddy system plays. He was caught out on a bit of an island over there in mid. Not how you would have wanted to have gave up this mid fight. And there's a lot of room taken by MOUZ in response to this. And NaVi are kind of having a guess every step of the way just how many players have followed through up middle. Bit's A main aggression is nice for NaVi to have, but it's all about how much can he actually get away with here.
Oh dear.
He is very far ahead, right at the front of the pack, but he's got some support as this play looks to come in. He's got his teammate Simple, not needed for the first two. Simple just playing the bait, tucked in, waiting. He's been teed up to win the round. The trigger discipline comes through. Simple knows he's won it. And so that one comes together before your very eyes.
It is just so simple, isn't it? Doesn't take a shot, kills the guy with the gun out, not the planter. Good prioritization of targets, and Simple does everything he has to. Prefaced by Bits, you know, arguably more impressive double kill. Don't know how he gets that second shot off while he's in the Molotov. He's only up against a pistol, but this smoke fade timing, he got peeked on the right when it faded. So there's a world where Bit gets no kills there, and he somehow makes it a double. Him and Simple combine, the two old boys of NaVi, to put on a third round. This matchup is just so exciting because it's so hard to truly know the grit of each team with this being a new season. And even though NaVi on paper are favorites, MOUZ would prove in good form. And still NaVi with a lot more question marks given the amount of changes. I guess both have brought in new in-game leaders. One's just an older in-game leader for this MOUZ core. xertioN, he's had a decent start to this game, gotta say. He's hit some bangers, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Drops his deagle over, and he goes for the upgrade.
Swarming his teammates. Smoke out, that's been retrieved from the body. That's gonna block off the spawn. Bit suddenly feels like he actually does have a lot on his plate here.
Nice save.
Simple moves in.
Yeah. Simple and Bit, the 1-2 punch, looking very strong right now in rotation is Simple. You know, NaVi have already shown in these few rounds there, find to give up bomb sites and, you know, play heavy stacks together and just trade out. They've pulled out of B in gun rounds before after showing double cave. And obviously Simple gets what Simple wants, especially on NaVi. So him just floating around the back lane in CT, taking up red, re-peeking donut, reinforcing B ramp. He is everywhere at once. You can never quite get comfortable. So already looking like a good start here for NaVi, who recover despite MOUZ's opening couple of rounds.
Yeah, we've got to start keeping a keen eye on two of these folks who are kind of yet to be involved for MOUZ. One of them, I think, more important than the other in torzsi, who's 1-6. You know, admittedly, hasn't really had had his hands on that AWP. We saw him try to go toe-to-toe with Simple. He gave it the attempt, but you can't really overemphasize just how pivotal torzsi's performances were in the play-in stage for MOUZ to have made it here in the fashion they did.
It's also not just pivotal in getting there and in winning this game, but it's about whether he can keep up that kind of form that he didn't show last season at all. He talked about his lack of confidence, towards the end of MOUZ, and you can understand there and the chatter over in-game leaders and feeling more comfortable under Shui as well. And so for all these reasons, we wonder if that was reproducible, so to say. So torzsi has definitely got some more proving to do, or we could all overreact. That's also the other option. I like that option. Yeah. I like that option for sure. So let's see. B hit for MOUZ. NaVi with only one man even close to the bomb site. Alexi's going to have to get trapped out in cave here, put up a tent, do some camping.
Yeah, still, he's got great knowledge of how he should be approaching this, right? Just knowing that being alive is all that really matters. And JL rains death down through the smokes.
What smoke?
That's madness. He makes it look so controlled, like that was easy, like that was ever obvious, but single-handedly, he's torn this round away. MOUZ never even have the time to feel like they get set up there. You get into a site, you get a bomb planted, but then you get mauled, and
I'd love to know what he saw, because on the kill feed, there's no smoke icons, and I can't really tell. It looks different on client. Slightly, but it looks like he can just see everything there. He gets a bit of an inkling. The bomb plant is open, but maybe he's just lining it up with a pillar. That's fantastic work for JL. For me, he's been more impressive than near MVP, major MVP form Ema. Since joining this team, JL's had some real pop-off games.
Yeah, the other thing that's obvious as well is he's a very big personality, is JL, right? And he's someone who is like very smiley and very much, tries to be the funny guy. And that's an interesting dynamic to bring to the NaVi squad.
Yeah, never really NaVi culture, is it? Very loud, boisterous guy.
He's been tagged down low to open up this round. He asked for the AWP, and Simple will oblige, giving that over. NaVi sat real pretty in this round, and even though JL's flashed off ramp, giving a bit of room, there's still fail-safes in place, and a lot of them at that. It's not just Alexi in the cave. Simple's here with that AK. The spam does a lot of damage onto Frozen. That Simple spamming through the wall. And Frozen is boxed into this tiny, meter-wide radius inside of the bomb site. These rounds where NaVi give up B, where they kind of pull back to the extremities, and then they isolate you in such a constricting manner. It's not often, that you see teams getting into the B site and then just feeling like they have nowhere to go, like they're lost. Normally, there's other ideas there. That's taking long. It's taking cave. It's setting up post plants at ramp. But NaVi have got the util. They've got the know-how to shut down these options, and so whenever MOUZ are getting in and getting the plant, they essentially get trapped in this cage of NaVi's making.
That is the danger of post plants on this B site, because there's say you have 5 players in a post plant. There's not 5 spots to play for the bomb, really. That's why you see a lot of teams lean towards taking long. Sometimes you don't even have cave because you focused full ramp, so that you don't even have that for a couple of players to watch flank and wallbang. And you just see players who are standing in the open on off angles towards the ramp, close on the cube on long. There's not really a huge amount of options. So yeah, NaVi, they give you the plant, they welcome you into the house, but then they lock the door.
Great time to pull out a gimmick like that. xertioN's been getting away with a couple of these mid-fights in rounds gone by. So they give him something new to contest with. And now NaVi flash back into middle, looking to exert a bit of ownership on this part of the map. That actually frees up Bit to rotate over to B, and in good timing as well. However, Beast getting fed in mid. Alexi, traded at least, leaves this even. MOUZ have got B. They've also got a lurk all the way through the A site.
torzsi with a crucial kill on the Simple, though. That's going to give them the bomb plant. The molly forces them wide. torzsi almost lines him up. I think Bit realized there, but it's too little and it's too late. torzsi's come to play. Finally, with his second AWP, puts in 3 kills in a 3-on-3 and gets MOUZ on the board. That's what we were waiting for. Great shooting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... I think it's good for MOUZ that he has a round like that right now while it's still early on in the map, right? Especially after the first outing with the AWP kind of got hard cancelled, right? In a peak that felt so unwinnable and so simple-esque. And you don't want this guy in his head. He kind of knows, you know, there's almost a bit of a target on his back for folks wanting to keep an eye on his performance, right? Both because of the claims made, but even the fact that when you look at the XIGL of this team and Dexter and how Afro's doing in that team and the various comments made there. And then towards the end of last season, obviously he had that dip in performance. So he knows that people are watching. And that's a pretty unique pressure that comes with it.
Yeah, and unfortunately he set the bar quite high with the play-in. I don't think we can expect him to keep it up to there.
Yeah, little 50 bomb.
Yeah, casual 50 a map, you know. See, Nifty did it once, and we never stopped saying it, so...
Yeah, that's a good point.
You don't forget it. Not quickly, at least. Boost up on B. xertioN going again for his rambunctious plays in middle, but I love these self-flashes from Bit. That's beautiful. Pops back out Donut with the kill. Or dry up ramp, but that smoke timing will save JL's life, and will keep this B site intact. Ooh. Or flash through a smoke, that's something. You see the trajectory of that flash. If it lands a centimeter shorter, JL's blind. But just unlucky, I guess.
Yeah, this is a bit of a non-starter of a round for MOUZ. Everywhere they tried to take the map control to actually begin playing their round, they've lost out on these head-to-heads. And, you know, I mean, the impact, I know he's 0-7, but he's... in a lot of these moments, in a lot of these rounds, he's kind of been a little surplus to requirement. Even in the round that MOUZ just won, he was lurking, late lurking through A while the bomb's getting planted over on B. He's been responsible for this side of the map a hell of a lot. But when, you know, your teammates are dying in mid, your teammates are dying over on lane, it does leave you kind of struggling to be super involved. And the one place where NaVi haven't been super aggressive, I know they had Bit kind of scouting it out, but I would say he's like hitting this fine line between passive and aggressive with the space he takes over at main. Impact isn't being given any freebies of players just walking into his crosshairs. So it's a pretty interesting challenge that he faces, what with the relative lack of experience within this squad and exposure towards the top level. Nice. He's got to find impact on these lurks.
Yeah, and on this map, it's very difficult to find those timings on A main as well, right? Like footsteps can be, they can be fake sometimes. You know, hearing Donut players doesn't necessarily mean you have room to walk out A. There's often a guy hiding behind big box, hiding behind default. For those unfamiliar with the Impact as well, 16 years old, young talent from the MOUZ NXT project, where many of these players former came. But most importantly, younger brother of major finalist and once top 20 player Sergey, of course, from the Finnish esports ENT organization at one point, who we saw, you know, in Katowice final against Astralis. So
and the guy who was leading there finds himself on the other side of the server. So yeah, you know, there's that relationship between.
Yeah, it's tenuous, but the point is, like, Sergey's brother. That's sick. You know, shame we don't have Sergey playing anymore, but he was quite the talent, and so we have some expectation of the Impact. Hopefully Sergey is cheering him on. All right, NaVi starting to take the reins of this game, bucking MOUZ off the saddle. B has been the way in. So they'll go back to this cave take. We've seen some nice double setups this time. NaVi both on the site. Bit and Donut has been difficult to deal with. This time it's Ema. And Bit behind the red smoke. Grouped up 5B right now for MOUZ. They climb up on the ledge side. So they're just going for a flat-out execute into top performer JL and captain Alexi B.
Yeah, and these two have had some really nice ideas for how to approach this B site. So often it's just centered around these double cave setups, giving a bit of freedom to Bit to rotate over. Sometimes it's Bit, sometimes it's simple. And Bit here this time over at the long side. The MOUZ want to take this space, right? They're feeling what we were talking about earlier on, that they get boxed into the site. So they want to try and take long away. And as a result, that fight on Bit is weighted very heavily. The fact that they get it and they don't lose anyone in doing so tees them up nicely in this round. They've got some serious real estate. These are the best post plants that MOUZ have had on these B plays. And so this has to be their moment. You got to strike while the iron's hot. Leg from torzsi. Good damage found, but it's the decision to re-peek that betrays him. The smoke in the way at Cave. That's actually a NaVi smoke lobbed out. And it ends up blocking them in. They were hoping it could give them this path, trying to block off the short side, right, with long taken. Oh! Stylish from Simple, but Style ain't going to win the round for him.
Even hangs around and picks the impact, finding him 0-8 on the ramp retreat. Feeling just like a role player right now, having no impact in terms of frags, but at least staying alive in this position to help MOUZ take the B-bomb site. It's a nice round out of MOUZ. NaVi getting trapped inside of the cave on that post plant, as you say, by their own util. And Simple not brazen enough to peek down ramp, but I think if he did, he probably dies to torzsi's double scoped in on him anyway. So that retake was never really materializing. And MOUZ trying to get scraps, get a couple of handfuls of cheddar right at the end of the half.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you actually see MOUZ try to go about their B takes in a fashion more like that, with how often NaVi are retaking with this cave presence. It felt like long control had to be their way in. And so they feel a bit of a weakness there. They feel a bit of a gap that could be exploited. NaVi looking to battle for lane control again. Impact given some util over at main. He might be the one to kind of set the tone of this round a little bit more, lobbing the util over, faking the hit. That first flash misses, which is far from ideal.
This isn't doing anything though. NaVi on shuffling. Bit did go for an aggressive play, but they see the B hit coming from a mile away, and JL puts up a kill. Trying to hide out in his little cubby here in the corner. Alexi causing problems. They do nade out JL at least, but torzsi deciding to back up with a bomb. He's alone right now, calling desperately for reinforcements.
Yeah, both these guys were faking the A site, right? So they're a lot later to the bomb site. And Ema sees a leg, looking to take more than that though. He'll swing it wide, full blind, and there's Yimpat with his first kill on the board. And what an important one it is. Simple on the receiving end. It's all left onto Alexi. A threat from the cave, but wiped out by torzsi on the wide swing. MOUZ do a fantastic job to make anything of that round, considering it started so direly. You know, the util in towards A, not successfully drawing the rotates, at least giving them one fight in middle, but the big glaring problem was that they had torzsi out on an island here with the bomb, just stuck in the site, couldn't move anywhere, just like how a lot of these B players have gone down. What a time for Impact to achieve something in this game.
Yeah. 3-on-4 pulled back and a big 3K for torzsi. This is crazy from xertioN. He ran through the Molotov. They didn't even put it out, and they might put him down with a nade, but it's cost them 2 kills. The nade falls short. A second one must do it. xertioN dies, but he dies a hero. We said we needed form out of him today. He's the top performer of his team. And that is a mental way to open up, running the gauntlet down middle, and even clearing Ema above him. He didn't even consider that, didn't even look down. Too much going on for NaVi to handle. And now MOUZ is all just on closing this cleanly, not overcooking the pooch. Leave that dog alone. NaVi still with 2 in B though. Simple's on the way.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, like take the gamble. Especially as util reigns over, you're feeling like this is the site they want to hit. And so they're going to pull everyone over. NaVi still want to compete for this round, and MOUZ are walking into the stack. Is the bomb about to go out first? It's a wide swing from Yimpat, but he will deal with the first man. And they learn about Alexi. He was the one boosting. Simple's been spotted with his AWP. MOUZ know everyone's here. Oh, what goes in? The spam is so risky. Yeah. If anything was given over NaVi, the retake would have been back on, but thankfully, nothing found through that smoke, and the save called for NaVi. This B site was once their strength, right? And you see how just a few rounds ago when MOUZ successfully broke it down, it's changed the result of these last few B hits. It looked a lot better for the MOUZ squad. xertioN is helping massively with the impact, the openers that he's finding over in mid, and then that only draws more resources away from B. xertioN might not have been happy with his performance in the play-ins, but the opener to the group stage, this is looking more like the xertioN we wanted to see. Yeah,
look at this. I mean, this is crazy. They're just, you know, Emo doesn't even realize what's going on there until it's too late, and Bit's blinded. They finally beat NaVi with a util in mid, and Bit's been either assisted or often done his own self-flash off the roof of Donut, and he's just been wrecking in middle with that util. So a change of tune for MOUZ in round number 14, and now we end the half. If MOUZ can win it out, that would be monumental on this T side of Ancient. Climb up missed, xertioN blind in mid. Ema looking like he wants to come through the smoke as well. And there's so many MOUZ players nearby ready to receive. And Simple's AWP for the last few rounds has been out of position to deal with these mid takes. He's going to try and finally get involved. Decides against it, goes back to B, and this does seem to be an A split for MOUZ. A Donut take into an A play. Right now, the most undefended part of the map. And so Simple may remain avoided until the dying stage of this round. No info. NaVi don't know what's going on. They're about to find out.
Oh, Bit's clean with it for the first one. Swinging out for a bit more. Another dink from him, but end of the line. Now Ema's got to do it, and he's burning. Forced out into the open. They hear that molly tagging. Yimpat with another to his name, and torzsi's AWP fires down range. JL dead, and it's all left onto Alexi. Late through middle. Not a hope in the world in this retake. MOUZ have got all the time they need to get set up. And Yimpat's even trying to take the donut away. Finn's going to clash here, and he'll win it out. What a feeling to go forth and win out this first half. If you're MOUZ, considering how this starts, it was looking lights out for NaVi, but a late game activation, guys like xertioN getting switched online, this one just got a hell of a lot more interested.
And now Heroic even hunting at the end here. They were so short on cash previously, but now they're the ones trying to punish. Zinho somehow still alive, but on 2 health, 1 health from the bomb. They might get him. Oh, he actually survives. Fair play.
Winning enough of the right rounds while Heroic, making this so hard for Mongols on their CT side. So hard to string anything together. This will still be a dangerous round, though, for Heroic with what Mongols are carrying. But that was an excellent response. And that's the kind of grit that makes you the best team in the world. Able to win rounds like that, the unlikely rounds. Turn things back into your favor, be it low on numbers, be it low on primary weapons. 910's somewhat gone missing in this game as well. The only frag he's got, I think, is one where he was standing in that Molotov.
Yeah. Kill from Stan was crazy. I guess he just had the right angle onto barrels, onto the right side, and just thought, I'm going to put a couple of shots here in case I hit a headshot.
Gloriously ugly. 7-2 then. This will be very encouraging for Heroic. 9-10 of the AWP, looking to double his kills. So Mongols have got a fair chunk of rifles. Pretty reasonable by all things considered. The situation is looking very dire. Not doing so bad though. That's the kind of frag that Mongols are looking for. Just a reminder that 9-10 is on the server. See the T's being very careful now. They've got nobody in long to stop the rotation from Mongols. What do you mean rotation? Blitz will stand his ground and drop the bomb. And there's a bait set up again. Almost 2 for 1, but the bomb gets even closer. 9-10 suddenly comes to life. Not too late for Mongols to bounce a comeback. Hashtag through the smoke. They just press W, Mongols. Beautiful.
Yeah, some of these rounds have definitely felt competitive for the Mongols, even when Heroic have been winning them. So now that they're starting to get rounds on them.
Stages do not get bigger than this.
MOUZ in control, but for how long is the question here on Ancient? It's their map pick, they're up by a round, but we just got a nice little listening to the MOUZ comms from our balcony above them. Shui just went on a little rant about how despite them being in the lead, this is a very close game and they need to keep it tight. It was impassioned, it was way more impassioned than I'm making it sound, and it was pretty inspiring, Harry. So MOUZ all on the same page right now, a late activation from the young Finn, and xertioN performing like we hoped.
Yes, Daddy.
That's what
is what Frozen said in reply to that earlier on.
That's a fact, yeah.
NaVi walking out through mid. No contact on this approach. That's because MOUZ have got intent to take away ramp at the opener of this pistol. Will xertioN check this deep? Oh dear, he does not. Shot in the back of the head. A nice way for this to start if you're NaVi. Not just going a man up, but shutting down this attempt at taking away some key real estate that MOUZ were looking to do. Now NaVi can just pick up the pace. You know that MOUZ might have to concede this side of the map and wait for the rotates, and that's what IEM is here to cut down. Sure, it's the one and done, but he keeps NaVi looking pretty as they're now 4-on-3 with the bomb down, bits boosted, beckoning them in.
I love this boost. He's going to peek really late as well. When they forget about it, Shui wins that fight, and now they have info. They know another man's trapped.
Simple holds on the cross, but JL's dead at ramp. This one is so quickly getting away from NaVi. And MOUZ will be the ones to pick it up.
How?
They didn't have anything to latch onto there. Red was controlled, the rotates was slow, they were retaking the site. The boost landed an immediate dink. You thought that that was going to be enough. But they battle through. And they'll maintain this lead to open up the second half.
It's getting stressful for Simple, as NaVi are losing some very awkward rounds in this game so far, this being one of them. And with a pistol on top of a winning T-side on Ancient, this could be quite the steal for MOUZ in map 1 of the series. Overpass and Inferno to follow. Two far more slow and calculated maps than the Madhouse that this one has given us. But I imagine the pace will dampen a bit with now NaVi on the T-side. Shui was keen to call just a lot of quick B in the mid rounds after mid takes. NaVi not so much taking their spawns here with this force buy. We've got some deagles and a couple of rifles. Simple armed and dangerous. Tries to peek before the blooms, sees one. Keen to walk down the ramp. Will xertioN find his timing? He's just seen Alexi jump it. NaVi are grouping A. If MOUZ info gather B right now, they will have an early stack, but They don't want to be the first to make mistakes. Good smoke of 40 seconds. Sure, it gives NaVi access to Red Room, but that's not their goal. They want this A split quicker than that. EMO might just have to take this space as a result. But instead they group and go close to the smoke into Frozen. Oh dear.
I mean, this is the man for the job. This is the one that you want, and he's got support with him. Frozen chains together the double with a bit of help from Impact. And now it's just Simple left to contain. Impact gets the better of him again. And so just the Deagle's bomb plant found for NaVi is something to hold on to. But a 2v5 needed from JL and Bit. They've at least been given a little bit of time to get set up here. This is relatively respectful from the MOUZ squad as they wait for this CT component to group up. They've really left nothing unaccounted for here. They're going to be clearing, just sweeping through the site, clearing all these sight lines. Now they know where Bit is with the Deagle, and Chewy's going to run him down. So they will pick that up cleanly, only losing Impact along the way.
And Impact's had a great recovery. He was 0-8 to start this game, and even though, you know, he's 5-10 now, his kills have been high impact. He's come up with, you know, the first kill of a post plant. Here, he helps Frozen with the spray down mid, re-swings, which is a great call. If they don't re-swing, they're both trapped in the same corner. They're going to get hunted down and probably double killed, but forces the refight, wins it. He's supposed to die there to be traded. He's had some very nice kills in these last 6 rounds or so. Oh, Frozen through the smoke. Not again. And NaVi, just the round in disarray now. That's something.
Yeah, but you're not ready for a second man, which, you know, kind of ironic for Alexi there, considering how often they double caved when NaVi were on that CT side. He just completely discounts the presence of xertioN, and so that one never allowed to get more interesting. Real hot stuff for Frozen to open up. Knows his lineups around that mid-smoke. Oh, I like that we get it from his POV.
Yeah.
Doesn't see a damn thing, but those kills in the kill feed. And look at those head twitches as he's checking the damage he's done downrange.
Channeled in. Give me these orbs now, because while Simple won the first 2 engagements, I think it was against torzsi, torzsi won the last 3. So the head-to-head, I'm pretty sure, is in favor of the young Hungarian. And while Simple's had a good game, those last few rounds of CT side, he couldn't really get in position to do much. So give me some more head-to-heads. Give me that B boost. Simple's got his outside of B holding for ramp. And torzsi's close A main. Playing a different game. So not for now, but they're both in play. And Simple even gave up head armor to get it, so really wants some value out of this. JL solo lurking pocket, but NaVi looking to take mid late.
Walking mid through the spam. Risky business when Frozen's on the other side. They brave the waters, but the bombs come back up onto the ledge. It's still with Simple, so
they're really trying to force an A stack, it seems like, but I don't think MOUZ are going to move out of cave. Oh, the bomb is ending A now. That's the right call.
Yeah, Simple just joining up with his teammate back in main. JL's going to be able to control, rotates out of the cave. That 1 kill onto xertioN is the signal to hit the go button. But the backstab in from Chewy. And now torzsi looks back at main. Bit dead. Simple's got to hit this, and he will. The pressure's on now for torzsi. Got to watch 2 angles, but his teammates move in, and they'll make it nice and easy for him. Frozen's got Donut, and the wrap round comes through.
If anything, it's NaVi getting the cave kill that signs a death warrant, because JL just runs away, and that's all the info. He gets backstabbed, but most importantly, you see in the minimap, when the cave player dies, MOUZ starts shuffling B, and immediately that's counter-called. No, he's running Donut. Watch your A site. Everyone's entrenched. The orb's in the right place. Frozen remains behind default, and he finds a huge double kill on that Donut split. What a great double setup for MOUZ. They are showing us some fantastic Counter-Strike right now. And NaVi will pulled over their eyes in that late execute.
And you know, like the mad thing is like pound for pound at the start of this game, it felt like the individuals were showing up for NaVi, whereas for MOUZ, you know, outside of nice rounds from xertioN, there wasn't a whole lot there till we got towards the end of the half, and then they started to find their footing a little bit more. They're winning a lot of these just playing it smart, you know, it's not coming down to these huge brawly plays right now.
Yeah, pieces in the right place. And we just saw a B-Stream update. Mongols, a map up over Heroic and a winning 8-7 half on map 2 on Overpass. So we're getting some crazy games today on the group stage of Cologne. If the Mongols go and do it against Heroic,
that's insane,
that's
right?
Crazy. It's supposed to be the team that... Impact. Watch out, buddy. All right. Little halfie for NaVi. Get to throw everything at the wall. See what sticks. What bounces off.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty standard, you know, just lobbing in the standard little B exec util, the smoke for cave to try and deny some of these angles, but fighting in the sight of MOUZ, playing ahead of this util that's down, and so it's not going to apply a whole lot of pressure there.
They made that B hold look so good, right? Molly right in front of long, so xertioN doesn't get rushed, and then xertioN flashes front default for Shui to peek. That's just such a beautiful way to deal with pistols, to funnel them to pillar and make sure they're all blind. That's just excellent. They don't molly the choke point, which they know will get smoked, and then you can't see anything, but they just molly to deny control, not to do damage. Great combo for MOUZ. They've got all these little tricks. NaVi getting desperate mid rushes. It goes as well as you expect. Stacked with 3 CTs here. They obliterate NaVi. How's JL out?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of mad, isn't it, that he even gets that deep, but we'll get caught.
Simples here.
And you know, I think this was one of the interesting things with NaVi making the decision to go international, right? And switching up the language that they're coming in. I think that it's going to force someone like Alexi to have to try and cook up simple solutions to very complex problems here. You don't want to get it lost in translation. You don't want people having to think too much about the plays that are being made. It's got to flow. NaVi have battled their way to a bomb plant here, and it's bit and simple left in it.
Yeah, maybe it is that simple solution here for NaVi. As the Ukrainians try and clutch up against MOUZ bit, he could get a double kill right here, but Frozen is feeling frisky, putting Simple in the clutch.
So much to do, and right now he's holding for a cave swing. Never even a look at ramp. Frozen goes walking up it and just executes him. Simple's waiting for contact that never even arrives. And Frozen goes on to close that out. A fantastic game from this guy. Sat up top of the board. Wrecking them in mid. When it comes down to these retakes, he's holding his own. He's looking so solid.
What a statement this is from MOUZ, man. 14-7 NaVi on their final tactical timeout. Blade trying to weigh in. The guy who picked Alexi for this team. And right now solutions are needed because NaVi have yet to field a single round on this T side. And I wouldn't even go ahead and say there's been ample opportunity. MOUZ have had their number every step of the way. They've won mid. They've been stacked on A. They've had good anti-ecos. Frozen's just been kicking dust up in their eyes. So is there anything, or should we just go next?
NaVi went for something, you know, very wild in the last round. Very stripped back when it came down to how they went about taking mid. And in this one, they don't even get out the double doors over towards B. xertioN has kind of been chomping at the bit to take this lane control, to take these ramp fights, and this round's no exception. JL, who was lights out for NaVi to open up this game, has come to a full stop in the second half, it feels like. Just cancelled out by a lot of these pushes over towards the lane. And so someone else has to be the one to make the offering for NaVi. They want to have any hope to recover this because you're not shy on players that can fill voids for MOUZ right now. IEM's got his eyes set on Cave, and with a teammate with him, they finally feel ready to start moving in. torzsi going to play this crossfire with xertioN between the long angle and the cubby here over towards B. And then you'll see that because MOUZ have just cleared mid right now at around about the 30-second mark, they've confirmed that mid is clear. Now they hear the footsteps. They know it's the B play. There's a third man here. xertioN dies immediately. The torzsi rings out with one from long. Over on short, low HP on xertioN, but that's not slowing his roll. He's still playing this pretty aggressively. His teammate's a little ways out from Cave, and he will end up giving a kill away. Bit flushes him out. Ready for the next fight through the cave, and the Impact can't trade it. Left up in the 1v3. He's had a very quiet game, and even though he's got some of these swing rounds for MOUZ, he will get silenced by Simple.
Yeah, just fired off to try and trade Bit, and that one bullet gave all the info for NaVi. If he doesn't fire there, and Bit just gets around the corner, he has a huge window to walk into B with two long players and a ramp man. He had full util. But NaVi managed to finally convert a T-side round with a nice B execute. Spam damage went a long way, did, you know, 2 players down to half at least. And then xertioN getting cleared. torzsi can only go 1-for-1 on the AWP out in the open. It's a nice round for NaVi, but it's the first of many needed. Gonna go back for more B work. Simple looks in with the AWP. Still relatively default on the map in NaVi. Missed attempt. NaVi looked to middle instead. Frozen just departing.
Wow. And they go running into that torzsi AWP.
It's an annoying smoke.
xertioN doesn't see nothing, so he quite likes it. He's playing around it.
He hears that.
And he knows they're boosting. Here's the scope. Oh, he's rubbing his hands together. JL has got to be holding this on the fade. JL's got to be holding it. Smoke now fades. Simple fed to the walls, but JL will trade. At least stops any more damage being done through that smoke fade at the base of ramp. However, this torzsi AWP. Oh,
What?
Oh,
What?
Oh, that's a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a question mark. Impact is moving in. He might be able to stop this. The bomb is the last man crossing.
No.
And so a high impact kill out of Impact again. And it's bought time for Frozen to move into middle and lend a helping hand. Impact does not have to do this alone. He's got his team backing him up every step of the way. And there's Frozen as the point man to come in and take matters into his own hands.
Yeah, forget what torzsi did in the round, right? Trying to run a rotate back in mid with his knife out with 30 seconds when Impact comes in and drops the bomb. I feel like, yeah, again, I want to give this guy props because not only is he super young and inexperienced, coming in, playing against some of the best players in the world, but he's in some bad spots, man. He's not in the, you know, the spots to give you these huge multi-kill moments, and he's still managing to find just the 1 or 2 kills here and there that win you rounds right now for MOUZ. They're just going to try and rush up B. NaVi are getting desperate, and that's at the welcome of xertioN, who lets him in with one. Ollie in the way, Frozen throwing himself forward, but these flashes are a problem, and xertioN's getting spammed up as Alexi runs him down. Captain's clash, and NaVi bash back with 9.
So that's one of those rounds that is not, you know, something that you can just replicate. It hinges on the util hitting, on MOUZ being in positions that are a little vulnerable to the Tech 9s as the distance is closed. It's one where you yourself, you know, played like you had nothing left to lose because you want to leave nothing unsaid at the end of this game. But this is just the start of a far longer journey for NaVi in this map if they ever wanted to drag us into OT. If you're MOUZ right now, you know, with 6 more chances to take this game over the line, you're not worried yet.
It's important not to give NaVi any steam. Shut it out ASAP.
That look like a guy who's worried about giving NaVi steam.
True. It's gonna give them smoke. Yeah, there was only one guy in B as well. Definitely MOUZ caught out of position, out of timing for the B rush. It's not the end of the world. They immediately remedy it with a timeout. 3 of 4 used. And as you said, 6 opportunities. Seem ample for a team that have been very clean on this CT side.
torzsi is a main spawn, and he's running it right now with the AWP. He wants to kind of take a bit of a line here early. And when he isn't given a fight, you wonder, does he keep creeping forward? Because there's a lot of info to be gained there.
Oh, they're flashing through. That's so cheeky with the molly as well. Right as NaVi had walked out through the smoke. Alexi's still here. Shui doesn't know how close he was to death there, but his teammate's flash gives him some room, and Frozen takes a second. This may be the beginning of the end. And the start of something for MOUZ in a new season, as they look to make a statement over this new European NaVi roster. Upsets galore here.
I mean, a lot of these rounds have felt pretty desperate towards the end for NaVi, and with each kill that goes against you, you're getting more and more desperate. Feels like you're living in a nightmare right now. Every player you face is just locking you out all across the map. You've got nothing left if you're bit, and so he'll get hounded down. It's the captain to close, and with that howl, I'll move up a map in this series. Overpass coming down the pipeline next. That's where NaVi have got to seek some redemption here.
Yeah, Frozen looks like such a monster, man. He really looks like the star player we've been waiting to see. Getting better and better every season. Let's see what he can do in that.